But listen, I think this is really interesting because something's starting to happen. And this is a big deal. This Candace Owens thing is going much further. It's growing much bigger than just her doing her show and spewing nonsense. It's starting to have repercussions. Okay. And so Tim Pool tonight, actually, let me pull this up. He went off and he says, and this is interesting because I was talking about this the last week, how she could impact the midterms, impact MAGA, and now it's catching on and people are getting pissed about it. And so here's Tim saying this, but I want you guys, I'm going to go through his clip here a little bit and I'm going to interject it sometimes, but I want you to hear how he's breaking it down and I'll add my thoughts as he goes.
It's Hugh. He says, Tim, I work in construction and experience the same thing. My coworkers are all in on the Charlie Kirk conspiracies. If the Republicans lose in the midterms, I believe that Candace Owens is wholly responsible. She is one of the biggest podcasts on the right doing everything to go to war with the organization that helped get Trump elected. Turning Point.
Now, real quick, I just toot my own horn for a second here. Isn't that exactly what I've been saying? I'm just telling you guys, I know you guys are, you guys respect the work I do, but I'm just saying, come on. I mean, I was first. I just want to say I was first on this.
Specifically, was going out and registering people to vote. Without Charlie, it's in trouble. Turning Point needs to be able to go out and rally young people and register them to vote. And she's doing everything she can to destroy that. And that is going to, I suppose, it's going to rip out the coffers on the right. There is no organization like Turning Point that exists anywhere else that has the resources and the reach. And without Charlie, I'm not sure that they can make it. But I can tell you this, Candace lighting a Molotov and throwing it through the window is not helping. And it's the most demoralizing thing ever. Additionally, all of the fucking cowards on the right who are too scared to say anything about her because she tweets at me talking shit or whatever. And
sorry, I didn't give you guys a language warning, but isn't it interesting how, and I love Tim for this. I've always liked Tim. I've been watching him for 5 years. He is the real deal. And for him to get this pissed off, I have rarely seen him go this far. He knows Candace. He's engaged with her. He knows TPUSA. He knows all these people. But he's stayed independent. And to hear him go off like this, this is going to spread. There's a major backlash coming. And so it's just, we're watching this in real time, and this is a fascinating study, but you heard what he said there, how he's calling everybody else cowards. I'm glad I'm not on a part of that, but, again, it's fascinating to me how this is starting to spread.
And a bunch of people come and flood our chat. I could give a single flying fuck. You can come and you can burn everything I have to the ground and I will happily live in a van down by the river. I don't care to be number one. I don't need to be number one. What I care about is what is true and what will help this country and what works. And she is a fucking scumbag. Okay? And she's getting worse every day. And she crossed the line. She continually crosses the line every day, insinuating that Turning Point literally killed the guy who made them all rich. And I hear this in the streets, and at a certain point, I'm like, holy shit, we're gonna lose the midterms. We're gonna lose the midterms, then we're gonna lose in 2028, and it's because she's a piece of shit. Because instead of saying, guys, let's come together and figure out how to work together, she says the stupidest, retarded crap. And now everybody's running around divided and broken.
Okay, quick. I gotta say, it's just sorry, but this isn't this almost exactly what I said last night. I'm just saying, guys. I mean, I sometimes joke that you watch my show, you get the news a day ahead of time. Well, this time you literally got it a day ahead of time. I freaked out, or I had my breakdown, my anger one day before Tim. But his words, I mean, How similar is it to what I was saying last night?
For what reason? For literally what reason? Now, guess what? I'm not on the best of terms with Turning Point either. In case you didn't remember, they didn't invite us this year, and it's become a big thing or whatever. I have nothing. I can say I know what they are. I know what they do, and I'm glad they do it. And if we don't get along, so be it. I don't know that they make it without Charlie, whatever. But what is the purpose of intentionally fanning the flames for 3 endless months of just nonstop retard shit, Candace? Holy crap. Initially in the beginning, she brought up some interesting things, new photos.
Okay. I'm not going to make you guys watch any more of that, but I mean, how fascinating is that? And like, man, how spot on is Tim in this? I mean, it's exactly what I was saying last night. Even if she's right on some things, the way she's doing it is completely unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. And tearing down this organization that could help us. And then Tim said exactly what I said last night too. It's like, this is about us coming together to win. This is a time of war. We don't need this nonsense. So it's just, seeing Tim do this, it just makes me so happy because it makes me feel so like not alone. I just feel very validated right now, I'm just going to say, because he's one of the good ones and he's one of the big guys, and nobody else is doing what him and I just did. What I did last night, what Tim's doing now, just this breaking it down, just pissed off, like saying this is unacceptable. And anyways, I had to share that tonight because if Tim is now there, Tim's very influential because he's got so much respect. He's got so much integrity. He doesn't have the charisma of Charlie. He doesn't know how to get that reach. But I got to say, Tim has the integrity, at least in my experience. Now, if anybody ever proves that wrong to me, I'll be shocked. But, it wouldn't be the first time I've known an influencer that it turned on me. But like I said, I've been watching him very closely. He's one of the only ones I've ever been like, I currently don't have any questions about him. I think he's legit. And so for him to be like this, it's like, man, he feels exactly how I feel. So, but I had to share something because, this is, it's important that we stick together. And so I thought that it would be important to share from Maximus here. This is what you do in war.
Whatever comes out of these gates, we've got a better chance of survival if we work together. Do you understand? If we stay together, we survive.
But just the way, I just want to show this analogy of how the difference between when they are apart versus when they're together. And it's like, these guys are gladiators. They don't care about each other. They don't necessarily even like each other. But when it comes to war, this is how you win. See the rogue guy out there? He's going down. Has to get saved by the leader. This is against overwhelming odds. This scene is so good. This movie could teach a million lessons. So we won't watch the whole thing. But, the point is that in war, you fight together. You have to have a leader. You have to have a leader. And I'm sorry, but you fall in line behind the leader. You don't criticize. There's no time for that. There's no time for nonsense. And that's why I don't have time for somebody who I like Jeff last night in my chat coming in and dropping all kinds of nonsense. That's why I don't have time for Candace Owens and her BS. That's why I don't have time for Ian Carroll or Whitney Webb, all these nonsense, and none of us should have time for it. You can't have time for this. We're in a war for our country. And because of people like them, we have a bunch of young idiot people, and God bless them. They're young, and that's why they're idiots. It's not that they're not smart. They're just young and stupid, who are falling away right now from the Republicans quickly and starting to embrace socialism. And we're starting to see it in elections. We're seeing it in the polls. And yeah, the midterms are at risk because of this. And it's exactly what Tim was saying. But it's because in America, we think it's a virtue to criticize leadership. Well, it's not. It's only a virtue to criticize leadership if they're destroying things. But when they're actually trying to get things better, it's a virtue to line up behind them and fight. And it doesn't mean you don't have constructive criticisms, but you still fall in line. That's the only way things get done. The entire reason the presidency was instituted, because the founding fathers didn't want to ever be under a king again. But they knew that in times of trouble, in times of war, you have to line up behind a leader, because one single leader is the only person who can make decisions quick enough and intense enough to actually win. A legislature is too slow. An oligarchy is too slow. You can never win like that. And so that's why they created the presidency, for that very reason, so that there would be a figurehead who could lead. And it obviously he's limited in power for everything major, everything lasting. But in time of war, that's who you lead. And like, I get a lot of crap for being so hardcore about Trump. But the reason I'm hardcore about Trump has nothing to do with his character, has nothing to do with him being perfect or anything like that. I certainly don't think any of those things. It has to do with the fact that he's our leader. He's the only one fighting. He's the only chance we got. And we have a leader. He's imperfect, but there is no perfect leaders. If we had a perfect character leader who had no controversies in their past, was super nice, never said crazy stuff, guess what? They would probably be too weak to handle the task in front of them right now. And that's biblical. That's history. So Eric, I don't think he's a member, Eric, so he's not coming in. That's Jeff. But listen, you got, this is why all the stuff, the Candace Owens stuff, all this is just a distraction. It's just a distraction. And sometimes it's not what they're doing or what they're saying, what they have. It's how they do it. And that's important. It's very important. There's no honor in what she's doing. So anyways, let me move on.